Hey guys, this is Egix here, and welcome to a special Christmas edition of Egix Reads. This week, we will be covering All TUFFs Christmas Carol, a TUFF Puppy fanfic by MWolfL. The description reads as follows. TUFF Puppy parody of All Dogs Christmas Carol. Can Dudley, Kitty, and Keswick convince Snaptrap to stop Honcho, Chief's evil cousin, from ruining Christmas? Dudley cross Kitty moments. Let's begin. Author's note. This is a parody of an All Dogs Christmas Carol, using the characters from TUFF Puppy, with the exception of OCs. To fit the guardian angel detail into the story, I've decided to make TUFF in this story an organization of secret angels instead of secret agents. Instead of being real angels, the characters are more like agents with special abilities, mostly Chief, who is kinda like a sorcerer in this story. Also, only official angels can see Chief, which is why he only has the same scenes Annabelle has. My main OC is Honcho, Chief's evil cousin. He plays Belladonna's role in the story and is somewhat like a warlock. I don't want to use an existing member of Chief's family for Belladonna's role, not that we know much about Chief's family anyway. Other OCs are my two kids for Dudley and Kitty, Ace and Dot, and Peachy Author's kids for Dudley and Kitty, George, Molly, Summer, and Logan. Her OC Claire, Keswick's love interest, and Claire and Keswick's kids Lisa, Tyler, Nathaniel, and Ariel are also in it, or at least mentioned. So, on with the story. Chapter 1, A Tough Story Time. A young pup, who resembled Dudley, ran out of the bushes laughing. He then ducked around a bush and hid. A small kitten who looked like Kitty Catswell now came out of the bushes looking around. The pup leapt out and barked at the kitten, startling her. "Can't catch me, slowpoke," the pup taunted before running off. "Ace, where are you going? We're gonna to be late for story time." "Gonna to? Okie dokie." The kitten, Ace's sister Dot, protested. Ace just continued running, laughing. Dot smirked. "Ace, come back," she said as she went in another direction. Ace soon neared the TUFF building and headed towards the garden in the back. He looked behind him and couldn't see his sister. "Huh, I lost her," he chuckled to himself. Not. Dot suddenly appeared from behind a pillar and hissed at him, really startling him. "You cheated," Ace scowled. "Sore loser," Dot retorted. Finally they made it to the gazebo, where Chief and some other kids were waiting. 4 of the other kids looked like Keswick. The rest of the kids looked like mixes of Dudley and Kitty, except for one who resembled Ace, and another who resembled Dot. These were Ace and Dot's siblings, George, Molly, Summer, and Logan. "Are we late, Chief? Are we?" Dot said worriedly. "It was all her fault." Ace jabbed a thumb towards Dot. "Was not," Dot protested. Do you angels in training want to hear the story or not?" Chief wagged a finger with a smirk. The other kids started begging for him to start the story. Summer hoped it wasn't a scary story. Okay, Chief laughed as he turned the page. "This is a holiday story about 3 ghosts, 2 bad rodents, and an evil warlock." A few kids shivered. "Huh, so it is a dumb old fairy tale," Ace scoffed. No, it's all true," Chief shook his head. "In fact, the warlock was my evil cousin, Honcho." The kids drew back frightened. "You mean the boogie flea?" Dot said nervously. "Yes," Chief confirmed. Dot gasped. "This is about how my 2 best secret angels tried to stop him from ruining Christmas," Chief explained as he turned another page. "Meet Dudley Puppy and Kitty Catswell." "Hey, our parents," Ace said proudly. "All right, Mom and Dad," Dot smiled. "Hey, what about our parents?" one girl named Lisa protested. "Your mother hadn't joined TUFF at the time, but Keswick helped Dudley and Kitty," Chief reassured her. "But you said 2 best secret angels," Lisa's twin brother Tyler pointed out. "There's a difference between secret angel and scientist, Tyler," Chief smiled. "Oh. Well, at least Dad's in the story," Lisa and Tyler's younger brother Nathaniel smiled. Lisa, Tyler, and Nathaniel's younger sister Ariel, who was a baby, clapped her hands happily at that. So, are our parents the ghosts? George asked. Well, I'll start at the beginning and let you figure it out, Chief decided before turning another page. It was Christmas Eve, and Petropolis was preparing for a beautiful silent night. The kids marveled at the beautiful overhead shot. Wait, what? No. This is a story, not a movie. The kids marveled at the beautiful overhead shot of Petropolis as the camera zoomed into the scene. Chapter 2: The TUFF Christmas Party. The camera kept going. Please, no, don't do that. That's not how stories work. Observing various citizens of Petropolis enjoying last-minute shopping and gazing at windows. It then followed one lone kid who was rushing to a restaurant, or to the back of it. There he met up with 2 cooks and a waiter. Hello there. Are you here to pick up the last of the food for F's annual Christmas party? I think the author had a typo there. One of the cooks smiled. I sure am. You got the food, huh? Do ya? The kid said excitedly. Of course we do, the other cook chuckled, going inside to get a few boxes. Careful with these boxes now, he smiled as he handed the boxes to the kid. You betcha! Thanks, mister. The kid excitedly ran off. He kept on running until he was at the back of TUFF, where the Secret Angels were hosting their annual Christmas party. The section was in a different location than the garden where Chief was telling his story, so the gazebo wasn't in view. A ginormous Christmas tree was, however, with a bunch of Secret Angels and kids trying to position it with a rope and a Santa Claus Keswick. The rope hadn't been long enough to tie to the top of the tree, so Keswick made up the last of the rope, using his feet to hold on to the tree. Or rather, these specialized boots with clamps on the bottom to hold on to the tree. The kids were there because purpose of this party was to give presents and food to orphans and foster kids. As a bunch of other Secret Angels pulled on the rope to position the tree, the Secret Angels and kids sang. Finally, the Secret Angels and kids positioning the tree gave one last hug, and at the same time Keswick undid the clamp so that the tree could land. Too late he realized he was still up in the air, but fortunately managed to grab a garland which he used to swing around the tree until he was able to leap into Dudley's arms. Dudley was so excited about the holidays that he was riding around on a desk chair, and so was able to catch Keswick and roll over to the outdoor bar without stopping. Dudley was all dressed up for the festivities like Keswick, except he was wearing a baseball cap with reindeer antlers on it instead of a Santa hat. At the bar, 2 kids were sampling a Christmas cake and quickly ran off when Dudley and Keswick arrived. Well, more like slipped and slid. The top of that bar had been polished recently. Keswick took the time to get his specialized boots off. Useful as they were for positioning the tree, they were horrible for walking. Kitty, dressed up in a beautiful green dress with a holly on her red headband, helped another angel hold up 2 little kids in a basket to emphasize their lines. 2 kids had started to play with a round ornament, but Kitty took it so they wouldn't hurt themselves. She then tossed it to Dudley, who hung it on the tree. One of the kids suddenly stood out, a young brown pup with a red hat and shirt. He also had buck teeth, which would cause you to mistake him for a rodent at first, but his floppy ears gave away his true species. What really made him stand out, though, was the cast on his leg. Because of this, he couldn't run as fast, even with his crutch helping him. To give him a little fun, Dudley picked him up and gave him to another secret angel, who in turn gave him to a secret angel with a giant fake candy cane. He put the pup on top of the candy cane and pushed it upright. The pup with a cast leapt off the candy cane and onto a stack of presents. The pup with a cast then leapt off the stack and grabbed onto a garland, using it to swing into a wagon. He then went for a ride in the wagon. Dudley held up a sprig of mistletoe over himself and Kitty so that he could kiss Kitty on the cheek. But at that moment, Kitty picked up the pup with a cast and hugged him. Dudley ended up kissing the pup's cheek instead. He just smiled it off, though. He was in too good of a mood to be disappointed. Besides, he'll get another chance. Sure enough, after setting the pup free, Kitty moved in closer and she and Dudley hugged. However, at that point, 2 kids dressed up as angels and suspended on strings swooped in and accidentally dropped a sheet over them. The 2 kids then picked up the sheet again. This time the kids dropped the sheet on the pup, who ripped through the sheet with a star on his head. The kids then picked up the pup and placed him on Dudley, who was on one end of a homemade teeter-totter. Keswick jumped on the other end, allowing Dudley to help the pup place the star on top of the tree. Dudley then went to the piano and started playing to the tune of the song they were singing. Dudley and Keswick then got off the piano and went closer to the tree. Keswick and the pup with a cast worked together to plug in the lights, lighting up the tree. The pup with a cast howled with joy. At the end of the song, Keswick couldn't help but laugh with joy.